And just allow the head to rest. So you can feel that the weight of the head is supported. And as you exhale, you can let the shoulders roll back, even just like 1 millimeter more. Adjust the shoulders if you need to in the back of the head. It's always nice to start a yoga class on the back because we don't have to work to keep the spine straight. And that gives us lots of freedom to move the breath in front of the body. Deep inhale through the nose. And exhale completely. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. So for some of you, this might already be the middle of the morning, a little break in between activities. Others might be starting the day. So whatever moment it is, just remind yourself, this is 60 minutes now for you. And what came before, what's coming next, it doesn't matter just for now. You're here to recharge, to take care of all layers of the self, physical body, moving breath body, intellectual body, the emotional self. For some of us also the spiritual self, a sense of connection to the world around us. We'll take about another minute to mentally transition, grounding ourselves on the mat, slowing down the breath. Deep breath in, filling the lungs. Exhale completely. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. So you may open the eyes if they're closed. We're going to bring the legs up from this position. Rough, especially, you might want to bring the feet up one at a time first. So we're bringing the feet up, knees above the hips, and now turning the feet up. So you can flex the feet and push the feet to the sides of the mat. Now they're in the air. So 10 deep breaths. Try to push the heels as much as you can to the side. You feel the legs rotating in. As you squeeze the heels to the side, normally you're feeling these side hip muscles contracting. 5 more deep breaths. Keep pushing out with the heels, even if the hips are getting a bit tired. And then just bring your feet together, so rotating the legs. Exhale, bring the feet to the floor. The bridge pose, you have your feet, hands beside your hips, feet in front of the hips. Inhale, lift. So rolling onto the back of the shoulders. Exhale, lower the hip. Inhale, right leg in the air. Exhale, lower the foot. And then again, inhale, bridge pose. So do this about 10 times. Lower the hips. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, foot to the floor. Again, bridge pose, inhale. Exhale, lower. Inhale, raising the right leg. Exhale, lower. So moving with your own breath. Full inhale, lifting the leg. Exhale, lower. Without rushing, inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, lower the hips. Again, right leg, inhale. And exhale. Inhale, bridge pose, press into the heels. Exhale, lower. Okay. Left leg and lower. So every time, try to lift the hips a little bit higher. And try to pull the right leg a little bit closer to your face, keeping the leg straight. A few more times. Hips. More. Left leg. Lower. So one more time, each side. Bridge pose. Lower. Right leg. Lower. Lift the hips. Lower. And left leg. And lower. And then you can reach for your strap. So the banana pose, I hope this will be clear from the camera. We're doing this on the back, so we're stretching the legs out. We're going to bring the strap so that the hands are as wide as your shoulders and above the head. So you're stepping your feet over to one side, hands over to the same side. I'll just stand up for a moment. So that looks like this on the back, right? We have the ankles crossed and you're bringing your hips to one side, feet in hand, other side. 10 deep breaths. And you can kind of squeeze to one side, pulling the feet toward the hands. And then come through center, slide the other way. So bringing your feet back to center, then crossing the other foot on top, feet over to the other bottom corner of the mat, and lifting the hands. You want the back of both hips and both shoulders to stay on the mat. And you feel a stretch from the hip to the armpit. Few more deep breaths. And then we'll come up to the knees. So you can just slide everything back to the center, move the strap to the side, pull the feet up, roll over to the hip, come up to the knees. And now we'll do a similar stretch on the knees. So you'll bring your hips over the knees, keep some space. So that's about as wide as your hips. Press the hips forward. So you feel the butt muscles press the hips forward here. You're lifting the strap, again, about as wide as your shoulders, bringing the strap above the head. Inhale, lift up, and exhale, bend to the side, and just play with your balance. Try to lean to the side until you feel like you can almost lift the knee off the floor. And then inhale through center and over to the other side. So making sure the hips stay above the knees. Hands right above the head. A few more times on each side. Bend to the first side. Press the hips one way, hands to the other. Center to the opposite side. Okay, once more to the right. Finding a little bit more range of motion as we continue. And then once more over to the left. Inhale up to center. We'll just move the strap to the side, but we'll come back to the strap in a moment. And now the tabletop position, so hands under the shoulders, feet under the hips. A few times moving the spine. Inhale, arch the back, look up, lift the chin, and exhale, around the head. Inhale, chest forward, and exhale, drop the head and the tail. More times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. So then you can bring your knees together, lift the feet, bring them over to one side of the mat. Perfect. And then pull your shoulder and your head toward your heels. 5 deep breaths. Try to squeeze one side of the body. And then the other way, lift the feet. Tap the toes to the other side. Look over the shoulders. Squeeze shoulder to the hip. A little bit faster. Swivel on the knees. Look over one shoulder. And then straight back to the other side. So twisting the hips as much as you can, looking over the shoulder, side to side. A few more times. Okay, downward facing dog. Bring your feet back to the mat. You might need to move the knees a bit wider again. Tuck the toes, stretch the arms and legs. 10 deep breaths. So if you feel your legs are tighter this morning, you can always bend the knees. You want to press with the fingertips, palms of the hands, really pull the hips up toward the ceiling. And then inhale, lift your head, look at your hands. Exhale, bend the knees, step the feet forward so the feet are behind the wrists. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, fold over the legs. Bend the knees coming up. So bend your knees, bring your arms to the side, hands together all the way above the head. Exhale, hands to the chest. Take a few deep breaths. And then inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift your head. And then just step to a downward facing dog. We'll inhale the right leg in the air. And exhale, step forward. So bringing the right foot forward, you might need to slide the foot forward a bit with your hand. Inhale, bring the arms up. And then bring one arm down. So this is my right leg. You're going to drop opposite arm. Try to reach toward the mat. You can always use a block. For example, if you feel like you're tipping, you can always use a block here. You'll feel that might be a more effective stretch with some support. Just being able to lean here, we have the stretch from the opposite hip to the shoulder. It's the lateral line that we're focusing on today. We'll hold for about 1 minute. You just want to lean back a bit with the chest and shoulders as you bend to the side. So it's really a pure side bend. A few more deep breaths.
Oh. Hi, do you hear me?
Okay, inhale, come up. You're going to turn toward your back leg. So you're pivoting on the mat, right? This knee is turning. Leg comes out to the side. And we have like a side crunch. So we're bringing the hands above the head. And then you're leaning away from the straight leg. So you're inhaling, lifting the chest. And then lean to the side. Go as far as you can without lifting the foot. And then come back up. So you're playing a little bit with your balance and also finding these side core muscles. Coming back up. To the side. And come back up. We sometimes forget that these side muscles support the spine a lot. So these are important stretches to do when you're working in a desk. So a few more times. And really challenge yourself to come as low as you can within your range of control. We'll do one more. And then we're bringing the hand down. So just release the hand first. So you trust your way to the floor. You're going to bring the hand to the floor. And now we're lifting and lowering the straight leg. So really slowly down and slowly up. So we feel that one side of the hip works to lower, other side of the hip works to lift. About 5 more. And always walk your hand a little bit further forward, right? You want the hand really under the shoulder. Okay, 1 more. And then try to reach up. So reach one arm up, slide up. You can just turn toward the front of the mat again, maybe adjust the feet. And now we're bending the other way. So you maybe bring a block to the other side. Still our right leg forward. We have one hand on the block and now we're stretching to the side. So here we usually feel the stretch really running through the hip. Give you a reasonably intense stretch. So again, holding about 1 minute, lean back just a little bit with the head and shoulders and then bend to the side. Try to keep this shoulder down, away from the ear. You can bring as much weight to the hand as you need to. Few more deep breaths. And then come back to downward facing dog. So bring your hands to the mat. Tuck the back toes, step back. You can always take child's pose when you want to. And again, 10 deep breaths, so pulling the hips up. And then other side. So inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step forward. Bring the left foot inside the left hand. And drop the back knee. Maybe move the foot forward or a bit wider. Inhale, bring the arms up. And now we're again bending to the side. So first away from the front leg. Sometimes you can reach the floor. Sometimes you're going to use a block. So we have the bottom hand for a bit of stability here in the stretch. And you'll feel it if you put a little bit of weight either into the hand or on the block, your hips will move lower. So more stability, you can bend to the side. Five more deep breaths. Maybe you can a little bit more. And then inhale, come up. So now we're pivoting on the back knee. Your foot swings all the way across the mat. So now it's across, moving the foot out to the side. Standing on the knee. So here I have the foot flat on the floor. If you want to lift it, you can. Inhale, arms up. And now you're going to bend to the side. Try to tip as far as you can, keeping the foot on the floor. So the foot is also an anchor point. It can help pull you back up as well. You're just moving within the controlled range of motion about 10 times. And feeling these side lateral muscles. And as you gain confidence, maybe you can come a little bit lower, shoulders. Two more. And then releasing your back hand, you can just bring your hand all the way into the shoulder. And then 10 times lifting and lowering the foot. Okay. So we feel now that moving to the hip. So we were just strengthening the side abdomen and now side hip. Same line, same chain of muscles. So a few more. Slowly lift, forward. And then come back to your front foot. You can also walk your hands on the floor. Spin again on the back knee. Adjust the front foot so that the feet are still about as wide as your hips. Inhale the arms up and now lean toward the front leg. Toward the front leg. Hips are low, shoulders are moving back. Five more deep breaths. Maybe you can lean back a bit more with the head, chin. And then again, inhale, come up. So now we'll lower onto the belly. You can bring the hands under the shoulders. Step back to a plank. Lower onto the belly. Bring your chin to the floor. So you can just stack your hands and rest the chin. Bring the feet up. So this first position we did on the back, now we'll do on the belly. You'll bring your knees all the way together, flex the feet, and push the feet out to the side. You got 10 deep breaths. So you're pushing now your feet toward the mat. Feel the belly move in and out with the breath. You can rest your chin or your forehead. And you use as much as you can the muscles of the legs to really push the feet out. You feel active rotation through the legs. And then bring the feet together. You can lower the feet, come back to a table position. So hands under the shoulders, and now slide one leg forward. So that's my right leg, and then crossing the knees. And now the same way, kick the feet out to the sides of the mat. Okay. And just bring your hips back and forth, even if the front knee lifts a little bit. So you feel here, you're pulling the hips back. There's a stretch in the side of the hips. And then leave the knees on the floor. Look over one shoulder, twist toward foot. And then the other way, turn the head all the way down. Keep your feet where they are. Twist, look toward the opposite foot. And then come forward, the cat and the cow. So inhale, arch the back, look up, lift the chin. Exhale, curl the head and the tailbone. Inhale, lift the head, look forward. Exhale, around. A few more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. So then you can uncross your feet. Just step back to a downward facing dog. The Trikonasana. So that's the triangle pose. Still working with the right leg. Inhale, bring the right leg up. Exhale, step the right foot forward. Adjusting the foot. And now coming up to a standing position. We have the back foot rotated in. Front toes forward. Again, inhale, arms behind the head. So it'll be an active stretch. You have your belly pulling in, tailbone points toward the floor. Inhale up and exhale, lean forward toward the front leg. Inhale up. Again, this sort of side crunch. And as you lean forward, you'll feel a stretch on the inner thigh, also the opposite side of the body working hard to support the head and shoulders. So a few more times. Okay, and then keep your hands behind the head. Come to warrior two with the legs. So bending the front knee. That really lifts the chest and shoulders. And we're coming to the side angle pose next, but first just press this is your straight leg, your back hip a little bit further forward. So I feel that the back leg is really important here. And then we're coming to the side angle pose. So option one, you have the elbow on the knee. Option two, you have a block on the outside of the ankle. If you can bring your hand to the floor, that's also fine. And keep the hand behind your head. So here we really feel what the hips and the head are doing. We want to keep the hip in line with the chest and shoulders. So if the side of the body is tight, you'll feel your butt sticking out. You really want to wrap the hips forward, bring the shoulders back, press the back of the head into the hand. You should feel a deep stretch down the whole top line of the body. So definitely from the armpit to the hip, if not all the way to the elbow. 10 deep breaths. You can bend the front knee a little bit more. Keep pushing the back hip forward, leaning back with the chest and shoulders. A few more deep breaths. Come up, so you can release your top hand, press into your front foot, come back up to the warrior two. Inhale, lean back, reverse warrior. Exhale, hands to the floor. So you'll just bring your hands to the floor, carefully drop the back knee. Here you may need both blocks. So you keep the right foot forward. Now we're in a half split. So pulling the toes toward your face. You can be as high as you want and keep the back straight with the head of the big toe. 10 deep breaths. Pull the toes toward your face. And then we'll just pull the foot back. I'm going to stay on the knees. If you want to sit another way, you're free to do so. So bring your right arm up. We're going to bring the hands behind the back. And many of you will want to use a strap. So you have the strap on the top hand, right? Working the hands together behind the head. And you want to pay attention here to what the head and shoulders are doing. If the shoulders are tight, you're really going to drop the head. So keep enough space between the hands that you can press the back of the head into the upper arm so the neck is really straight. We're holding for 1 minute and only bringing the hands as far together as you can. Keeping the shoulders straight, keeping the neck straight. You could also stand on the knees if you like, as long as the chest and shoulders are comfortable. And you can close the eyes or look forward. Relax your facial expression, especially the jaw muscles. Five more deep breaths. Okay, so I can see you're all still on the knees. Keep your arms where they are 5 times. Slowly lean forward. Try to tap the elbow to the floor in front of you. And inhale, come back up. So don't worry if your hips lift. Try and keep them on the heels as much as you can, moving slowly. Tap. And then back up. So that's 3. Tap. And if you don't bring the elbows to the floor, that's fine. You can always stop a little bit higher. 4. And last one, 5. Okay, and then just keep the strap to the side if you're using it. Rest the hands on the knees, roll the shoulders. For me, I also feel that in the lower part of the arms, so you can circle the wrist. And then we'll come straight to the other side. So you can bring your hands again under the shoulders. Slide your knees back. Yeah. So now the left knee is sliding forward, right? And we're sliding one knee forward, tucking the back knee behind, kicking the feet out to the sides of the mat. First, pull the hips back and forth. So pulling the hips back and forth. Even if the front knee lifts a little bit, really just feeling the rotation of the hip, that compression in the hip as you pull the hips forward and back. And then keeping the knee on the floor, first look to one shoulder, so pulling the shoulder toward the hip. Your back foot. And then the other way, turning the head and shoulders the opposite direction, looking behind you. And then head and shoulders forward, the cat and the cow. Inhale, arch the back, look up. Exhale, round the spine, pressing into the hands. Inhale, chest forward. And exhale, around. And inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale one more time. Inhale, arch the back. Exhale, around. And then just uncross the legs. So you can lift one leg up. Come to downward facing dog. And now the Trikonasana on the left side. So inhale the left leg up. Exhale, stepping forward. Lifting your head and shoulders. So big step, hips are facing the side of the mat. Angle the back foot. Front toes forward. Inhale, hands behind your head. So again, pressing hips forward, head into the back of the hands, lean to the side. The leg side, front, and then back up. Side. Moving with your own breath. Exhale, so lean forward. Sorry. And then keeping the hands behind the head. Now come to the warrior 2 with the legs, bending your front knee, and adjust the feet if you need to. Really push the hips forward, the head back. So you already feel the legs are doing most of the work here. And then keeping your top hand behind your head. Bottom hand is either going to come onto the knee or to the outside of the foot, maybe using a block. So we're holding for about 1 minute. Wherever you are, really push the hips forward and the head back. Angle the elbow above the head if possible. Strong stretch to the right side of the body. So arching side body. Hips press forward enough, and elbow bends over to the side. Few more deep breaths. Release the top hand. Okay, inhale, come all the way up. Warrior two. Lean back, reverse warrior. Exhale, bring your hands to the floor. Drop the back knee. Might need to move the foot wider and reach for the blocks again. So the half split. You have the front toes angled toward your face. Pulling the chest forward, shoulders back. About 10 deep breaths. And then pulling the leg in. Sit down. Reach for the strap. Now it's coming behind your head. Lock the hands together. And just pay attention that there's no side movement here. We just want to bring the hands together. The shoulders stay straight. Press the back of the head a bit into the arm. Should be a strong stretch in both shoulders, the side of the top arm, and the front of the bottom arm. Breathe deeply into the sides of the rib cage. Chest lifting up and out with the inhale. Sliding in and down with the exhale. Few more deep breaths. And then keeping your hips on your heels. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, slowly bend forward. Try to tap the elbow to the knee or even the mat. And inhale, come up. That's 2, forward. 3. 4. And 5. Okay. So just release, feel that dynamic of movement brings the stretch just a little bit deeper into the side of the arms. So roll the shoulders, you can stretch, shake up the hands a bit if you like. And then we'll come forward to the top of the mat. So you can just bring your hands to the floor, step back through a downward facing dog. Just step the feet forward behind the wrists. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, fold. And inhale, bring your arms up all the way, hands together. Exhale, hands to the chest. So I'll just turn here. Okay, inhale, bring your arms up and step one foot even off the mat. So crossing back foot here, lower your bottom arms, stretch to the side. You can sort of stay on the ball of the foot, reach up, press the hip out one way. Okay, inhale, bring your arms up, keep your feet crossed, bend the knees really low. You're like this, and then arms in front in the eagle. So here, so that's right leg forward, your knees are tucked, arms lifted. Yes, sit as low as you can. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, reach up with the knee, and exhale, step back to the eagle. 5 times. Inhale, kick up. Exhale, back, sit low. Great. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Great. Bring your hands to the floor. And now just slide your ankles together. So back ankle. Yeah, slides in. Inhale halfway up. And exhale, fold over the legs, shaking up the head. Now you'll feel it will not only stretch the back of the legs, but also the sides. And just shake the head and shoulders. Inhale, lift your head and now slide the foot back. So usually I tell you to put the foot to the side. Here you can really keep the feet one in front of the other. So like you're on a tightrope. And reach for a block just in case you can't bring your hand to the floor. So I have my feet really in one line. That will challenge your balance a bit. You have one hand under the shoulder and you're just going to lean back. So the hips press out to the side, you lean back, the top arm. Yeah, great. Exhale, lower the hand. Just turn your head and feet the other way. So the Prasarita Padottanasana. Feet are parallel facing the side of the mat. You can use your block on the highest height, middle height. If you don't need it, you can also move it forward. And we're coming into a twist. So you'll keep your hips straight. Inhale, one arm up. And exhale, lower. So this side is a dynamic twist. Inhale, lifting the arm, twisting the shoulders. And exhale, lower. Inhale. And exhale. The lower back shouldn't be moving. It's really just the chest and shoulders. So even if you don't look all the way up to the ceiling. One more time, each side. Front arm. Back arm. And then you can just pause in the forward fold, either stay on the hands or start to walk the hands between the feet. 5 deep breaths. And then just lift your head, walk your hands back to the front of the mat. So stepping forward. Again, in your forward fold, you can pause here, just hold the elbows, shake the body over the legs. And then release the arms. Inhale, come up to standing, hands above the head. Exhale, hands to the chest. And then straight to the other side. So inhale, arms up. Now slide your other foot. So really crossing the knees. You can step all the way off the mat. Draw one arm. So you're reaching up and over. You should feel a deep stretch from the shoulder to the hip. And then inhale, come up, just squat. So from this position, squat, bring one arm under the other. So that's now your left arm. Normally sit as low as you can. And then releasing the arms, shift your weight onto 1 foot, lift the knee, and then try to step back into this version of the ego pose. So moving at your own pace, lift up, and then come back up. 2 more. Okay. And then bringing your hands to the floor, just step the foot in so the ankles are crossed. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold over the legs, shake the head. You can always use blocks under the shoulders when you need to. And then inhale, lift your head. So now sliding the back foot, keeping the feet in one line. Opposite hand under the shoulder or block under the opposite shoulder. And inhale, bring the arm up and press the hips out to one side. Pull the shoulder back. Should be a stretch really here down the sideline of the leg. And then exhale, lower. Walk the hands over to the opposite side of the mat. So the feet are parallel. You can pull the toes in. Maybe you have a block, again, under the hands. So this time, you'll bring your hand behind the head. And we'll hold the twist. So you'll push with your bottom hand and turn the shoulders. Try to pull the elbow up. You might stop a little bit earlier than you anticipate, right? Because this becomes a stronger stretch with the hand behind the head. So 5 deep breaths, really pull the elbow up. Keep keep the hips straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, lower and just switch sides. Adjust the block, bring the hand behind the head, push into the bottom hand, lift the top arm. Stop when you feel a deep stretch to the side of the arm and shoulder. And then release the hand. Inhale, lift your head. Exhale, walk the hands back between the feet. You can keep the back parallel with the floor or fold. And come to a deeper variation with the weight more in the toes. And then inhale, lift your head, walk your hands back to the front of the mat. Again, step into a forward fold. You can catch the elbows, shake the body, open the legs. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms up all the way, hands together. Exhale, hands in the chest. A few deep breaths. And then making our way onto the belly. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift your head. Exhale, step to a plank. Lower onto the belly. So we'll start by stretching the outer line of the arm. You'll reach one arm forward and bring the back of the hand under, so you're sliding away. And you want the hand to slide off the mat, front hand slide forward off the mat, and try to rest the head. It should feel like you have the body weight on the outside of the shoulder, holding for 1 minute. And use this opportunity to slow down the breath again. Really deep breath in. Belly presses into the floor and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Exhale. So then you'll lift your head and make your way onto the back. So you're going to need to slide your knees toward the bottom arm, roll onto the back, and come to a twist on the back. Do any variation that you like. I think you know the options. So it can be the feet together, it can be the legs crossed, it can just be the bottom leg straight and one leg across with the hand supporting the knee. So holding for 1 minute. Just make sure both shoulders are on the mat, wherever you are, and that you can rest in a passive stretch. Keep your hands and feet relaxed. And then roll onto the belly. Between sides, we'll just bring the hands beside the hips, turn the head the other way, take 5 deep breaths. Relaxing the shoulders on the exhale. And then bringing your arms forward again. So this time, opposite arm forward, other arm sliding underneath, and you just slide the arms away from each other, rest the head. And bring your head all the way to the mat. Allow the body to release forward with the exhale. And then lifting your head, you can roll onto the back. So just pull your knees toward the bottom arm. Bring your top arm all the way up and back, and adjust the legs any way that it is comfortable for the lower back. So it should be a stretch without pulling. Keep the back of the shoulder on the floor. Few more deep breaths. I think the computer just crashed. I hope that you can hear me again. So finding a resting position on the back. And close the eyes or look at the ceiling. Roll the shoulders under, allow the hands to rest. Keep the feet at least as wide as your hips or even the mat. Take a few really deep breaths to settle the body. Inhale, chest lifts. And exhale, relax the top of the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Back of the head resting. Back of the shoulders. Both arms. Both hands. Whole back body. Back of the hips. Back of the legs. Both feet. Whole body at rest. Just the breath moving. Whole face relaxed. Back of the eyes. Center of the forehead. Sides of the face. Mouth. And the jaw. And stay here for a few more moments, experiencing the spaciousness you created in the body, spaciousness in the breath, also in the mind. Extra space for all the emotions that come up, the distance between yourself and everything that arises. More space for clarity. Take a few more really deep breaths. And we'll prepare to come back up. You can start to move your hands and feet again. Maybe taking another stretch on the back. Pulling the feet up, knees up. Rolling over to the side. And we'll meet in a comfortable seated position. Hands at the center of the chest, Anjali Mudra. I will chant Om once to close the practice. Inhale through the nose. Exhale completely. Inhale for Om. And then opening your eyes. Thank you for your practice. Namaste.